So yeah, I think I keep going until my resources are finished. It's pretty close now, and that gives me a good almost 2 hours worth of attempt time. So that's pretty good. I would say I'm pretty happy with this sort of first effort. Oh, that moves power. Yikes. I kind of didn't realize I Isshin there. That wasn't actually my goal, but I was trying so hard to block or deflect attacks that my finger just got stuck pressing down L1. That's why I couldn't get away. I left too much of a window there. But yeah, I think you're finally going to see how far down the unseen aid can go. I haven't used that one yet still. I keep forgetting. Honestly, I think the third form, once I get there enough, is not going to be so bad, because the lightning counter isn't the most difficult thing in the world to try and get. If anything, I think the second form, now I'm starting to head into Isshin's first form is becoming like Genichiro, how he was like 45 minutes ago, where I'm finding him easy enough that I'm trying to just do too much, try and beat him too quickly, try to not heal, try to not give up a resurrection, all of that stuff. So always just one more move coming. Huh? I lost the lock on for a second. Yeah, but that like spear pull-in move is like literally, I think if you're right next to his body, that shouldn't work. At the end of the day, the base of his spear technically just brushes past you. Like, you shouldn't take the damage from that. The head of the spear is nowhere near you. It's kind of dumb. I get it that they want you to dodge that move in a specific way, but it's just like, nah. I think that's a bit silly. When you're that close quarters, I don't think it should apply. Swinging missed hits, it's annoying. Pissing me off now. Yeah, that form just takes too long. He has this very weird like ebb and flow of, if you run, he's very aggressive. If you're neutral, he kind of doesn't do anything. And then if you're aggressive towards him, obviously, he punishes you badly. So, like in the second form, sorry, like in Isshin's first form, you can kind of let him come to you. You can wait for it, and he's aggressive enough that... Finally, I think that's the first time I managed that, actually. Literally the first time. See, like here, I can kind of just do all of this and kind of just wait for him. But in the next form, that's just not doable. Good lordy. Yeah, he mixed it up in this one. Ah, first one missed. Yeah, it's a weird one. First one missed again. my mistake. There's just Ichimonji this time. Why are they... Sometimes these I don't understand why I get hit by them. Yeah, it's been pure Ichimonji this one. Very weird. Interesting. Completely different behavior there. That entire combination is just horrendous. I don't know how to deal with that combination at all. And then he just jumps out immediately. Like, my posture can't hold up against this form. Trying to use a few things here if I can, but it just will not let me out. Yeah, hesitation is defeat, but I gotta be able to at least heal, buddy. I mean, I understand, but surely they're not expecting you to beat the final form without needing to heal. I mean, I was happy with that attempt, and as you can see, I honestly, I really thought that he would use the lightning thing more. And I do feel like in a winning attempt, he's probably going to spam that a bit more, because obviously it gives you such a huge advantage that you wouldn't ordinarily get. But like in 2 minutes of fighting, you use it like once. There's just no window to heal here. Yeah. He's such a prick in this form, he really is. Oh my god, that was literally the best run I'd had this entire fucking sesh, and I threw it away like that. Oh my god. With that one, I've been having this weird sort of, like, sometimes if you just strafe at the right time, even if you're in that circle, you still dodge it. So I wasn't quite understanding how to dodge that. I thought maybe if I can time a step dodge, I'd be able to do it. Good lord. Ugh. See what I mean? Like, everything looks so easy. Yeah, I'm not sure still how to deal with that. Don't know why I even healed there. Again, I thought I was far enough away, but I ran into a fucking mountain. Nice. Oh, I did it twice. Those ones are gonna knock it in. I just wish I could practice the third form for like an hour and then I'd be so much better. The only good thing here is that I think if I start mastering the third form, then the fourth form automatically by default becomes easy because yeah, if I basically it's basically the same moveset. So I think that's why I think there's like 3 tiers of mastery to this fight. I think I have, well, mastery, okay, it's very loosely used, but I just mean in terms of doing enough to win, there's 3 tiers, and I've got 2 of 3, I feel. Again, I thought I already had beaten him. There you go. I would say tier 1 is trivializing this guy. Tier 2 is trivializing this form. And tier 3 is trivializing the third form. That one I just cannot, under any circumstances, like, that series of swings, nah. That series of swings is just a completely different beast. Now, one thing I will be trying is, in that form I feel like there's a combination that he does, where when you're far away from him, he'll leap in, and then there's like a series of potential moves that you can relatively easily start to learn to dodge. Or deflect or get a window to attack. I just want to see if doing it like that will be okay in terms of his posture gauge. See, at that time I felt like I was in range of it. I missed the first one. Basically, the charge up time for that version is shorter. That's why you see me often just already start kind of hesitantly tapping L1. And yes, hesitation is defeat, exactly. But I can't, obviously, I can't always tell if it's going to be the short one or the long one. And so I try to cover myself for both. See what I mean? Like that little jump back. Nah, he's an asshole. This form is the real deal. Like this is the thing you have to overcome. This is the mountain. The other forms are nothing. This form is everything. It's just amusing to me that like you can run around indefinitely, but the second you try to heal, you're getting punished. We can do this all night. Try to get him to commit. Try to heal. You see what I mean? Like it's you have 2 entire death blows worth where you can't heal without being punished. I mean, what do I do with that? Really? What am I supposed to do with that? There's no window to heal. How do you expect me to do 2 fucking health bars worth, death blows worth without healing? Down to 9. We've been down as low as 7%. That's been the lowest of the low. But there is some random variance to when these appear, so we'll see. But I'm already nearing the end of what would have been this session anyway. I think it's been about 2.5 hours since I started. Yeah, after he does the second Ichimonji, he kind of holds it up for everyone to see for like 4 seconds. Maybe Ichimonji's not the one for that. You just don't have time. Maybe Whirlwind Slash is better, or maybe Nightjar. I'm going to try swapping to a different L1 R1 move once I get past the first 2 forms. I'm not using anything. It's weird. Strange. Okay, so in this form, is there anything I can do instead? Inflicting damage while preventing counterattack. Let's try that. Same move every time. I cannot do anything against that move. Also, it says while preventing counterattack. I'm unclear as to how that's preventing counterattack. I don't feel that's doing shit all. I don't know how he's able to handle a gun, a spear, and a sword all at the same time. Like, what kind of... Like, he's only got 2 arms. I'd like to get a closer inspection of whatever tool that guy's using because that's some bullshit. Oh, thought I was out of there. But as you can see, not a single usage of the lightning move, not a single one. It's just the same form twice, with like some even worse moves to boot. I think technically I missed the counter. Fuck off. I wouldn't have won anyway, but it's a shame if that second lightning counter had hit. It's not automatic. Basically, like jumping up in the air and pressing R1 is not enough. Just not quite enough. But hey, these are the closest runs I've had so far. I've only got 11 spirit emblems left. Yeah, so I think I have to call it here anyway. Honestly, just when I felt like I was really starting to get there. I don't even know what he did there. He literally ran through me there. Right, I'm going to get out of this part of the map because that hasn't gone well for me. I was a split second late to jump. A split second. Yeah, that one is hard to read. Okay, I'm going to end the session here because I'm running out of resources as well. And I will be back for the next one soon. Okay, so what I did was literally reload my previous save so that I had all of my resources back. So now I can literally go back into making my attempts once again. Now... maybe my attempts will last a bit longer if I just cash these in. Alright, straight back into it we go. I've been at it for about 2.5 hours at the moment. So, still like plenty of time. As I say, I must have spent close to double this on Melania / Orphan from Bloodborne. So... oh, well that's the wrong move. Forgot I had that equipped. So we'll start this attempt again. Oh, that's why I died there. There you go. Scratch that one. Let's begin again. We already have all of our resurrections full. And so I think I'm not going to use... any resurrections unless I get near the end of Form 3, I think. Like near the end of it. Truly close to the death blow. Because then I'll get it immediately back.
Sekiro.
There you go. Sometimes you catch it nice like that. Alright, let's go. Hey? What? You scumbag. There's absolutely no reason for that to happen. Oh, damn it. This form is a mystery for now. dodged it for once. Oh my god! Oh my god. I think I did it. I think I did it! Oh my god. Please say I did it. Please. Please. Please.
Sekiro.
Woo! Immortality severed. My heart is pumping. At his peak, Isshin Ashina devoted himself to deadly conflict in pursuit of strength, a single-minded killing machine for man. Dragon Flash. In his younger years, Isshin was a devil with the sword, spending his days in pursuit of life-or-death combat. He often ruminated on how a cut should be made, but his blade always moved first. 20,000 points. You have now defeated many extraordinary foes who can now be faced in memories as a series of consecutive battles. Gauntlet of Strength can be accessed via the Sculptor's Idol menu. Confronting memories of the past is akin to the discovery of new possibilities. The very ends of conflict may afford a new state of mind. Very interesting. Alright. There we go, my friends. Absolutely awesome boss. It really was. The fact that I nailed those lightning counts, I think I got 2 in that form, or 3, and it made all of the difference. Like, the satisfaction that you get from getting that lightning counter is like, it's almost like nothing I've experienced in any FromSoft game. It's unbelievable. And well, it ran close at the end. I really thought I was gonna fail. Like, when that bar was almost full and he took me out and I resurrected, I thought this is going to be one of those times where I get resurrected and I can't hold my nerve and I get immediately killed afterwards. And I thought, this isn't going to work. And so when I finally got the opportunity to get the last death blow, oh my god, it was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever gasped like that before. Like, playing one of these games is insane. So honestly, in terms of sheer amount of time taken to win, he wasn't as difficult, I think, for me as Orphan or as Melania. But obviously now I'm more experienced than I've ever been in Fromsoft games, and so he has the benefit of that, I guess. And so Orphan was the first true, like, incredibly difficult Fromsoft boss I faced. And so that one was a real mission to defeat. And then Melania, you know, Melania is an absolute beast and an iconic boss as well. But I think I might even like Isshin the best out of all of them. There's just something about that lightning counter in the final form. I think the only thing I don't like is that his moveset is very similar for Form 3 and 4. They are a bit different, I think. But similar enough outside of the lightning move that they're by and large the same. But the way that the battle flows and the way that you get so much tighter and better with Form 1 and then Form 2, the way they become formalities, absolutely unbelievable. Like, just a really, really great fight. Great arena, great music, great feeling, really difficult fight as well. And so yeah, it's an absolute classic FromSoft fight. So I think Genichiro and Isshin, just two really, really good fights in this game, and I would definitely remember them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that and seeing me prevail after all of those failed attempts. So what now? Kneel before divine air. I think what I will do, can I even get out of here? I'm just thinking, just in case something happens and I have to defeat him again. Honestly, just to see a different ending, if I choose something different here to get a different ending, I'd rather not beat him again, so I'd probably use like a cheat engine or something to get the other variation of this. But let's go ahead and hopefully get the ending of this game.
Okami.
おそばにおります。竜の涙。
我が生涯の忍びを、虫たちをお願いできますか。
Heavy stuff after the euphoria of beating Isshin. Oh man, he becomes like the next sculptor.
This is やはりあなたが持っていてください。また新しい忍びが力を求める時が来るでしょう。
Damn. There it is. Roll credits, my friends, on yet another brilliant game by Fromsoft. They're blowing my mind, man. It's my third one. So Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and now Sekiro in the books. And they're all just somewhere ranging between like excellent to masterpiece. And this game as well, I really, really enjoyed it. It was billed as being one of the best, and people who knew me said that I'd probably like this one a lot, maybe more so than Bloodborne. And there are people I know who like this game more than Elden Ring, and having played it through, I can definitely see it. Like, this game like really appeals to, you know, my aesthetic tastes. The storytelling, I think, is definitely a bit more conventional. It's easy to follow. When I was making choices, I felt like I understood more what was going on and the choices that I was making. And that's one thing where when it came to Elden Ring, there was too much of the game where I was kind of making a decision or responding to someone and not having really any idea what this means in terms of the big picture. But here, because we have the more centralized story of trying to sever immortality, it's like when a choice comes related to that, it's like, okay, do you want to sever immortality or do you not? And that simplicity, I think I personally prefer. I like my sort of storytelling, I think, a bit more conventional. And there is some magic, of course, to the Elden Ring lore, and I love, like, you know, reading about it and listening to people talk about it and discussing it myself. But for the core experience while I'm playing the game, just like from start to roll credits, I prefer the Sekiro style. And what I liked about it is that it didn't kind of, for me at least, it didn't come at the expense of having the Fromsoft kind of, you know, philosophy going on. There was still a lot of interesting lore going on behind the scenes, stuff that you had to dig deep to find. There were descriptions of things that you had to read to fully understand what was going on. The NPCs had their own interesting, sometimes cryptic tales and motivations and that kind of stuff. And there was just a lot of secrets to be found as well for those looking to search for it. And so I think in that sense, like, this game definitely appealed to me a lot. And I would say still the place where it shined the most was just like one-on-one combat. To me, this game has probably, like, in terms of action games I've played, it probably has the best one-on-one combat I've ever personally played, I think. It's this really interesting kind of hybrid of there's fundamentals you have to know and you have to develop at and get better at, while also giving you enough freedom to kind of play your way and have lots of different tools at your disposal. But everyone's got to learn the same kind of base fundamentals if you want to make it to the end. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's experience ends up being the same. So again, with Elden Ring, it's kind of I loved it. It was incredible how open-ended Elden Ring is, and you can approach it in a literally a million and one different ways. But sometimes, like, you could play the game in a way that your experience could vary so wildly that you lose maybe a bit of cohesion between different players and different runs, and, you know, with the game and that kind of thing. Like this one, I just feel like they built a core kind of gameplay system and mechanic, and then they expanded around it so that by the time you get to the end of it, you've all kind of had a similar type of experience, but you've still had it in your own way. So I feel like this game really finds the sweet spot of that, and so I really did appreciate that. Now, overall, like, I think the boss battles, they were excellent, but I think, for me at least, the middle kind of 70% of the game, I would say, like, the bosses weren't as great as I expected. I think Genichiro kind of spoiled me, because Genichiro just really ramped everything up, and it was an incredible boss fight. For me, like, one of the best I've ever had in the Fromsoft kind of games that I've played. But then anything kind of subsequent from there until basically all the way at the end, it just didn't really reach that height. And I would have loved a little more kind of consistency in the kind of highlight marquee bosses along the way. So Corrupted Monk is a big one for a lot of people. And for me, it was a really good boss, but again, for me, it still paled in comparison to the likes of Genichiro. And so I think that's one area where it's like, it's not absolutely top level. Like, the top 3 to 5 bosses were excellent, like amazing. But I think there was a lot of like mini bosses that were forgettable. And I think maybe because of the whole mini boss system, it maybe came at the expense of some better individual, like, main extraordinary foe bosses. So I think in terms of my favorites, obviously Isshin, Genichiro, I would say obviously Demon of Hatred, for sure. Then we had Guardian Ape, which I thought was brilliant. And then I think I've always been a fan of Lady Butterfly. I think Lady Butterfly is a great boss, especially early on in the game, for people that are newer to it. I just thought she just stands apart. You know, you don't get to fight that many females, first of all, anyway. And she's this, like, incredibly talented, like, skillful old granny that you have to try and overcome with her cool moves. And, like, walking on the webs of the kunai or whatever it was that she was doing, I thought was really cool. And so I thought she was super cool. And yeah, like, Corrupted Monk was also really, really nice. But, yeah, I think the mini-boss thing, I generally really like it. But I think when I'm comparing it to the absolute, like, for me, because Elden Ring still stands at the top of the mountain, especially, like, the final part of Elden Ring, like, for me, the bosses that I encountered during that sort of, once you get to Farum Azula, and you get to, like, Godskin Duo, which I personally had a really fun time. I really enjoyed that boss battle. It was cancer for some, but for me it was really good. And then, of course, you had, like, Malekith, and then you had Hoaraloo, and it's like that whole, like, section of the game was just so strong. And then, of course, you've got iconic bosses like Margit, and then you've got Radahn. Like, there was just so much there that, for me, I think overall, like, in terms of epic boss battles, it just had more of them. And so, yeah, I think on, like, a per boss basis, Sekiro ranks extremely highly. It's pretty much close to Elden Ring. But I think overall, Elden Ring still has more bosses that I remember. And that, obviously, it's built to have a bit more boss variety as well. Because in terms of gameplay, you can have so much more variety. Bosses need to be more varied too. And so they kind of stand out in my mind a bit more, I think, in that sense. And so, yeah, I would say Sekiro overall, incredible experience. I'm very glad I played it. It won Game of the Year it came out, and is definitely, like, that kind of level. Like I say, I think raw, like, one-to-one combat, the sharpness, the tightness, the way that it trains the player, the way that it prepares the player. There were bosses like the Centipede one really sticks out because it was a kind of boss I didn't like the boss, but it was almost like that grudging feeling where when you go to school and you have a teacher that you don't like, but then when it's all said and done, you kind of acknowledge that they did a good job of teaching you. I felt like that's what that boss was like, and there were numerous bosses throughout the game that helped you to build your fundamentals, and, you know, it taught you patience. It taught you, obviously, the deflection, the timing, the reflexes. It tried its best to teach you, you know, when to jump, when to try and Mikiri counter, when to step dodge, all of those things. And the way that slowly over time, for the average player, I would say, I would call myself an average player of these games. The way that sort of builds up over time, and you don't feel it too much as you're going through the game, but then when you look back on how you were playing 10 hours ago, 20 hours ago, you've changed. And that's why editing has been really fun for this one, because I've been able to literally kind of watch myself, and even now, like, I can see how much I progress, and there's things that I'm doing in, like, episode 5, 8, 10, 12, 15, and I'm watching it back and I'm just like, whoa, like, were you really this bad at this certain stuff, or like doing these kind of things? And I think in terms of that type of progression, I think Sekiro probably is the best that I've played. Like, the learning curve and the difficulty curve for this game is really, really cool, and it teaches you in just such a cool way that it really, that part of it is very memorable. I really felt like I went through some kind of shinobi gameplay school, and I graduated when I defeated Isshin. Like, that's the feeling that I got from this one, and that really appeals to my own personal taste. And so, yeah, just brilliant game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the journey of seeing me kind of start off, like, very stealthy, very slow paced, wasn't dying very much for a few hours, and I was trying to get my feel for the game. Then obviously the game sort of pushes you on. It says, okay, like, you know, you've started to familiarize yourself with the world and the traversal, which I really enjoyed as well, like the grapple hook, the quick traversal. No full deaths unless you already had low health to start with. That was really nice. But then it's like, no, you've got to up the ante. You've got to get better at deflecting, at all of the fundamentals that I've mentioned. And then you build your confidence, you get a bit better. And so even though you keep your stealth element, for me at least, I always kept the stealth element when I could, but I felt a lot more confident to just come out and start beating enemies and taking them down with more authority when the time called for it. At least, you know, according to my own play style. And so the way that that sort of experience evolved, and I had those sessions where I'd built up a bunch of bosses I couldn't defeat, and I was feeling like I was getting stuck, and I came back the next session, improved my fundamentals, discovered some more tools and some more options, got better at the game, and then before you know it, those 3-4 bosses that were a roadblock, you've cleared most, if not all of them, and then just when you're feeling good, another little roadblock comes, and then like that whole kind of backwards and forwards, it can be very frustrating for some, but for me it's the type of thing I really enjoy. And so this game was just really masterful in the way that it did all of that stuff. And so, yeah, I would say overall, truly excellent game, and a great addition for me, and a really great experience for me. Okay, so now that I've talked about all of that, I didn't want to continue going on here because I wanted to do this in real time, so I kind of left this screen on for a little bit, so apologies for that. But let's see what it says. Start playthrough number 2 now. If you choose not to start playthrough number 2 now, you may do so by accessing the large sculptor's idol in the dilapidated temple at any time. So I'm going to say no. And let's see where this takes us. Does this mean we get to refight Isshin, or it's just an empty kind of field and you can do what you want? Okay, memories left behind by another. Concentrate on these inmost regrets or obsessions as a sculptor's idol to change the wolf's appearance has no effect on ability. The memory of a shinobi that once served Ashina. It is accompanied by a debt of gratitude to the one who took his arm and graced him with the name Sekiro. Okay. Okay. That's very interesting. I just want to understand where we're at in terms of the story, the situation. Where's Emma, for example? So he's still here, just waiting for me to kill him. Interesting. I want to quickly head back to some of these bits here. The change form menu has been unlocked. Change form allows you to alter your appearance based on the memories of another in your possession. Gauntlet of Strength. Yeah, that's a lot to do. Yeah, because I reload the save, I still have 30% unseen aid. Nice. We'll tell you that. How many skill points do you even need to do that? Do this one. Okay. One who returns from the great beyond does so at the peak of their prosperity. Isshin coveted strength and all manner of techniques throughout his mortal struggle. He wished for war until his final hour, and that's precisely what he got. Attack power up to 13, very nice. Yeah, let's see what happens here. And I don't know if changing into the Sekiro form kind of changes any outcomes here. This is stuff I'm going to have to research from this point. Okay, not much going on here. Yeah, I just wondered, I don't know, if like immortality had been severed, like Hanbei for example and stuff like that, what would happen with him? Not sure. Okay, so I think here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to wrap up here. This was literally perfect timing. I need to stop playing now anyway. We're going to wrap up here, and then I'm going to do some research. Like, who is there left to fight? What is there left to do? And we will have probably like one more session in which I will come back to the game and do some things that I never got to do in my first kind of blind run. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this series so far. There's probably going to be like 1 or 2 more episodes, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know, depending on exactly how much I missed and how many alternatives we have. But hopefully I will show you guys everything of interest to me in this playthrough. So I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.